Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and take pass less from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques. Just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a road, sideline judge the post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.
Western Water Sports crew, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Nice to see you there, XJC. Nice to see you, mate, coming out in support of the Sharkies. First game of the season. Welcome along, TikTokers. Welcome along, YouTubers. Welcome along, Twitchers. Very nice to have you along. Now, before we go too far into today's game, let's have a salute to Jamie Dunn, creator of Aggro. If anybody remembers Aggro, the little bath mat puppet, we lost the creator, Jamie Dunn, today. So, a big salute to the creator of Aggro. Part of my childhood, probably part of a lot of your childhoods too, right? As the Gold Coast Titans come out onto the field, my prediction, sorry Titan supporters, but my prediction for the wooden spoon has gone with the Titans. As you'll see, we've also got our same game multis back up and running on the screen with the brand new overlay. Good. Ahoy, mates. You're not paying today after yesterday's bad performance. Talking about the Broncos, I'm gathering, as the Sharks, the home side, out onto the field now. All the pressure's on the Sharks, though, when you think about it. They're expected to win this game. Big time. I mean, the odds are just astronomical in favor of the home side. So they're the ones under all the pressure, and what we've seen from the Sharks in recent seasons is that they do not handle that very well at all. They lose games that they're expected to win comfortably, and they get themselves up for games that you think they've got absolutely no chance. Oh, there we go, Kurt. You've got 1,000 on the Gold Coast. That's a big call, but for the reasons I literally just went through, as a Shark supporter, it's always a bit nervous when... nervous times when they come into a game that they're expected to win so comfortably. But I tell you what, they look pretty fired up for it to the Sharkies. Referee blows the whistle and gets us underway. So I've got my 4 legs on this one. Iro, Nikora, Beau Fermor, and I've got Sammy and Stone Street in a combo. Titans with first use of it. Taken down inside their 10. Bringing it back into midfield. Titans better start the game clock. I always forget that. Big defense from the Sharks is Hazelton. Running up on Fa'asuamalawe. Putting a big hit on. Sharks won't score any points, says Kurt, as this has been tough going for the Titans this opening set. Kinney shows the ball back on the inside, but he's well read by the Sharks defense here. 30 out on the 5th and last. Back to Ilias for a big clearing kick. Not a lot of distance on it, and it's taken by Stone Street for the Sharks. And he will return the kick up to the 40-metre line. Good field position early for the home side. Ahoy there. Lunge Bob, long pants. Thank you very much for the super chat. Very much appreciate the support there, my friend. Cheers. As the Sharks up over halfway, and it's their first raid into Titans territory. Slow play the ball, but scooped up by Brayley. Makes some more meters, 30 out. Let's see, Kurt, your prediction. Sharks won't score any points. It's under threat early. 5th and last, 25 out. They stay short side. Over on the left, Trindle puts it in over the top. Contestable kick. Kinney comes forward. Spills it. It sets up for Will Kennedy. And there's the first try. Will Kennedy gets the first try of the night. The Sharks are on the board. 2 minutes in. What a start. A kick from Trindle was on the money. And Keanu Kinney can't hold on, much like we saw last night with the Broncos getting bombed to high heaven by Nathan Cleary. Try confirmed, and it's actually, I've got to give Keanu Kinney a little bit of a break there because during the call I said that he knocked it on. He actually didn't. Samuel Stone Street got up above him and batted the ball back. Either way, it's a Sharks try. And what a start it's been. Will Kennedy, didn't have him in my multi. Nico Hines, a lot of focus on him as always. Lining up his first shot at goal. And an absolute dream start for the home team. 15 in from touch over on the left. Hines puts it on target. And for a confidence player like Nico, exactly what he needed. Richard Trader, ahoy mate. XJC says Kennedy is a W player. Baroid, ahoy mate, up the wires. Have not tried the vodka yet, Richard Trainer. I keep forgetting. I probably said the same thing last season, but if you keep reminding me, it will happen eventually, and I will do it on stream. Titans get us back underway. Sharks up 6 points to 0. And here is Jesse Ramian from the restart. Brings it outside the Sharks' own 20-metre line. Teokatai Tunga, you need Fifita to score. Opposition centres are always a pretty good bet against the Sharks, actually. Kurt says he'll buy me a bottle when the Gold Coast win. Kurt's thrown another 1,000 on the Titans, by the way, as Brayley scampers off down the short side. Offloads back for Kennedy. Kennedy to Hines with the inside ball for Nikora. And the Sharks are full of running early on here. E.B. Williams, ahoy, mate. Brayley into Titans territory. Vanua Blake earns a 6 more. Late in the tackle count and a set restart. This has not been a good start here for the Titans. Trindle drops it off inside for Hazelton. 20 out. Sharks on a roll. That's only tackle one. Brayley to Whenua Blake on the crash ball. Bumps off one, but Fermor brings him down with Paasuamalawe. 15 out from the line. Brayley holds the pass up for Trindle nicely. Angling back in here is Billy Burns. And Burns fights his way over the line. They turn him on his back and he can't get it to ground. Solid goal line defense from the Titans, but boy, they're under the pump. They'll take this ball back 10 and play it, but they are still under immense pressure. Solid defense there on their own goal line. So yeah, 4 legs for me, which is good because it looks like both these, well, I say both these teams, it looks like there's going to be a lot of tries in this one. The way that this one started, which is good because I've got 4 try-scoring legs. Now we're up at the bunker. We're just seeing if Billy Burns has maybe lost this forward. He's definitely been turned on his back and hasn't got the ball to ground, so that's all we can really be looking for. E.B. Williams says, could Titans handle the Sharks bomb squad? Well, a bomb is exactly how the Sharks got their first try. Burns plays it, 10 out. Here's Whenua Blake, spins into contact. 2 meters out, just to the left of posts. 2 tackles left. Trindle in midfield. Dummies inside. Goes out to Hines. Cut out pass for Sione Katoa. Katoa with the in and away. Gets the offload back for Ramian. 5th and last. And that will be a handover. Again, the Sharks, much like last season, not getting a kick away. We saw that happen a lot from the Sharkies. Not getting to an end of set kick. Deciding to run the ball instead. Wrecked Up 91, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Cheers, mate. And the Titans have now got to get themselves out of their own end. 6 minutes gone. 6 points to 0 for the Sharks. Close game or a blowout? Oh, look, the Sharks should win quite comfortably. Should. What exactly comfortable looks like. I mean, I'm talking maybe 14 points as the Titans kick down inside the Sharks 10. Katoa backs up and takes it well. He'll return it to the 20. Bumps Ilias, spins out of another tackle, but coming back at him is Arama Howe. I think I said that correctly. Kennedy, or Trindle rather, catches them napping. Braden Trindle shaved his head. Looks like a chunkier Will Kennedy from a distance. Kale Ero now up to the 40. Sharks looking good early. Titans looking a bit rattled. E.B. Williams says thoughts on Nicola Brayley and Whenua Blake potentially getting selected for Origin, and how would that affect the Sharks during Origin? It would obviously affect the Sharks big time, especially if Nico Hines can fight his way back as a fringe Origin player. 40 metres out from the line here. Trindle puts the high ball up. They chase through frantically. Well taken at the back. Keanu Kitty. And also they're inside the 10. Penalty for the Titans. So there you go. 2 bombs. 1 led to a try. They've survived this one. So yeah, obviously it would affect the Sharks to lose that many players during Origin period. But you know, they say that you need a couple at least Origin players, Origin level players to be a premiership. So maybe that's what the Sharks have just been lacking all these seasons. They qualify comfortably for the top 4 in most cases, and then they just bundle out. So maybe it's just what the doctor ordered for them to keep them on track, if you know what I mean. Titans now halfway through their set, 35 out in midfield. Here's Randall dropping it off inside for Fermor. Fermor angles back in behind his own man. Lucky to not give away obstruction penalty. 5th and last, 20 out. Ilias wants it on the right. Puts this one high. Contestable ball, lost forward by the Titans. And Trindle dives on the loose ball. The Sharks have it. It was a little bit of a tester, but they come away with it inside their own 10. Ero on 0 tackles, so that will help them as well this set of 6. Slow play the ball. And there's the penalty for the Sharks. The Titans this time offside. Almost 9 minutes gone. And that's a hell of a touch finder from Braden Trindle. Puts it up to the halfway line. 6-0, the Sharks lead. Ero taps. Gives this one to Burns, who spins out of the first attempt to tackle. Trindle at first receiver again, inside for Hazelton, who's lost his headband. Dizzy Hazelton. Trindle again. Controlling the show nicely. Hines taking a little bit of a backward seat. Vanilla Blake stands in the 3-man tackle, plays at 25 out. Brayley catches them napping and goes on a dart up the middle. Quick play of the ball. Right they go for Trindle. Puts the grubber kick through for Nikora. Nikora plucks it out of the sky and scores the try. There's the first tick on our multi. Britta Nikora. And the Sharks have gone in again. Braden Trindle with the little grubber kick through. And it sits up just above his head. Britton Nikora still had a lot of work to do. Nobody at the back for the Titans. And he blitzes his opposite number. It's the Braden Trindle show. Tricky Trindle show at the moment. And that's what we want to see from the Sharks. Like, they spent a lot of money on Nico Hines, but Nico's proved that he's not necessarily a game-controlling 7. Switch him to 6. Let Braden Trindle run the show. And that's what we've seen in the opening 11 minutes here from the Sharks. Mookie, ahoy, mate. Welcome back for another season. Trindle. In the opening 11 minutes here, 2 try assists, 59 kick meters. I mean, that's a start and a half. Hines now, 10 in from touch. Taking it back to the 20-meter line. Moves in. Slides it through the middle. Nico Hines, 2 from 2. 12 minutes gone. Sharks up 12-0 over the Titans. E.B. Williams says the Kennedy hate is forced. Yeah, Will Kennedy's a funny one. He had a really good couple of seasons, and then he had a really, really average season. But he's a good player when he's switched on and going well. Titans get us back underway. Kickoff. Lands on the goal. He's got Fanua Blake charging it up. Big contact from Beau Fermor. But still, Fanua Blake brings it to the 20. Sione Katoa now. Cat Lego, ahoy. Welcome back for season 2026. Speak of the devil, there's Kennedy. Getting some hard work in up the middle. Colhern out to the 40. Tackle 4 for the Sharks. Hines runs it up to halfway. Steps off the right boot. Almost catches them napping Nico. 5th and last. Back for Trindle from 40 out. Puts it high. They're just peppering the Titans here. Great kick chase. Kinney under pressure does well. Keanu Kinney now runs into Fanua Blake. E.B. Williams says, Walsh and Walker ruined my fantasy last night as the Titans get a penalty. Sharks offside again. Not for the first time tonight. Ways is better, says Blues, cooking the Crusaders. Titans find touch, 10 short of halfway. Aussie John, ahoy, mate. Opportunity here for the Titans to try and get some momentum back. Fodawaker goes to ground just inside the Sharkies' territory. For Asuamalawe onto Randall, bringing it back into midfield. Slow play the ball. They get a 6 again. That's why. The slow play the ball was the Sharks holding down Ollie. Ahoy, mate. Ollie is the best. 35 metres out midfield. That's play 1. This is their chance now, the Titans, to swing this momentum. Trailing by 2 converted tries with this long to go. Of course, it's still game on. Ilias takes it up to the 20. Not afraid to take on the line. Lockie Ilias. Left edge for Keanu Kinney. Beats the first tackle of Nickera, who's racing up out of the line. 5 metres out now, the Titans. Head across to the right. Brimson to Ilias. Grubbers into the end goal. Will Kennedy's having a sleep. And the Titans have nearly come through and stolen one. But I think the Sharks have just managed to scramble this over the dead ball line. Boy, oh boy, Will Kennedy. We were just talking him up about when he's on fire. He's one of the premier players in the game. One of. And then he goes and has moments like this of just laziness. As he tries to shield the ball, overruns it. Oh boy, this is going to be close. Titans get hands on it first. And it's an air swing. It'll be a result for the Titans as long as they haven't touched this. They actually ended up winning the chase to the ball. And then Kennedy's missed the ball as well by the looks of it. Both players have. Kennedy gets a brush on it with his middle finger. And then Samuel Stonestreet there to save the day. It will be a result for the Titans here in the form of a Sharks goal line dropout. Beckham Stocks says if William Kennedy doesn't play Origin, then I don't know what to do. Well, goal line dropout incoming here for the Sharks. Kennedy's, even though we've just been talking about him when he's in form, been a great player, I think for Origin, he's going to rely on some injuries as Stonestreet attacks the short restart and knocks it on. Scrum down here for the Titans. Stonestreet wins the battle in the air again, but he can't hold on to it when he comes to ground. And the Titans have elected to have this scrum in midfield, so back-to-back sets and mounting a little bit of pressure here, the Gold Coast. Important for them that they hit back. Now they break right. Brimson used as a decoy. Late offload back for Verrills. Brimson changes direction. Wants to bring it back into midfield for Fodawaker, where he's tackled 10 metres out. Right in front of the post. Verrills with the double pump to Fa'asuamalawe, who drags a few defenders with him. Just a couple of metres out now. Gold Coast. 4 tackles left. Brimson, inside ball for Fodawaker. And he runs into a brick wall of Sharks defenders. There's Big Mo. Crash ball for Tino. And he's a metre short. They're nearly there, the Titans. Poor service from Verrills to Brimson, though. And that brings the play to a halt. Brimson finds some space in behind. Grubber kicks through. And it's grounded in goal by the Sharks for another goal line dropout. Titans about to get their third set back to back to back. Aussie John says, Dan, if we fall asleep in front of the television, does that mean we're getting old? Iced Earth reckons, yes, it does, but it could also just mean that what you're watching is horribly boring. I mean, you did mention that you were watching SmackDown, so... Kennedy goes short with the restart again and doesn't find the 10, or Trindle, I should say, rather. Doesn't find the 10 metres. But, of course, there's no real penalty for that these days, so the Titans will play the ball 10 metres out. Over on that right edge, Ilias will bring it back into midfield for Fodawaker. Taken down in a 4-man Sharks tackle. Slow play the ball. Verrills to Ilias. Drops it off inside for Chris Randall. 5 metres out. Tino goes out the back for Ilias. Holds the pass up nicely for Kinney. Kinney has shown the sideline. Has to angle back inside. Sharks defense holding firm for now. The Titans not really asking many questions, though, either. Basuamalawe into midfield. Late offload. Back to Verrills. Verrills under pressure. Spills the ball. And he does manage to recollect it. Boy, Tino putting them under pressure with that offload. 2-on-1 out to the right. Nice pass from Kinney. Gets it away to Faimani. And he is a metre short over on that right edge. Sharks scrambling defence. Gets across and shuts it down. 5th and last. Ilias grubbers into the end goal. It's a little too heavy. Hines shadows it across the dead ball line. 7 tackle set incoming. Nico races back to the 20. He taps and goes. Needs a support runner. And he had nobody going with him there, Nico. The Sharks' defence has held on. Scrambling on their own goal line. The Titans back to back to back with sets of 6, and they come away with nothing. And now a penalty for high contact on tackle 2. The Sharks will march straight back down into Titans territory. Bruce, ahoy mate. How are you today? E.B. Williams, honestly, mate, I haven't been keeping up. I've not been keeping up. It's kind of why there hasn't been a Not Another Bloody Wrestling Show podcast for a little while, because neither Jace or myself have really been on top of everything that's happening. And yeah, we feel like you've got to kind of know what's going on if you're going to do a show talking about it. You know what I mean? So Nickera plays it 25 out here for the Sharks. Trindle heads across field, and Hazelton on the burst. Halfway through the set, Colquhoun. Late pass out the back for Hines. Hines to nobody, but it sits up nicely for Kennedy. Kennedy gets it away for Ramian. And where were the Gold Coast defenders? Out on the right, or their left, Sharks' right edge. Nobody out there, and Jesse Ramian just strolls over. Another one for the Sharks. 16 points to 0 they lead. We're going to run out of space here on the try scorers list. A kind bounce for Kennedy. He sells the dummy, and that's where Philip Sami was about 15 metres too far in field. There he is, Sami trying to make the tackle on Kennedy after that loose pass. It was a 2-on-0 in the end for Jesse Ramian. Worst case scenario, he still had somebody outside to pass to. Boy, this has been a good start, promising start for the Sharks on attack and defense. A quarter of a way through this game, or through this half, rather. Sharks on a roll. Hines from the sideline. Two from two so far to keep his perfect record intact. His toughest kick of the night by far. Hines moves in. It's going to hook horribly off to the left. It wasn't even close. And it remains 16 points to 0. The Sharks, they've got to be happy with that. We've still only got one tick off the multi. Britton Nickera. I think that's a good one to have got, though. It's a good get. Bo Fermor in the first half would be a good get as well. Richard Trainer, you took Katoa over Jesse. Yeah, well, I went with Iro instead of Jesse. I thought surely there'll only be one centre. And now the Titans put it about 50 metres out on the full from the restart. All the way back to halfway, we march for a Sharks penalty, and things are just going from bad to worse here for the Titans. Charlie Lilly. You're a diehard Sharky, but now Cooper Bye. Yeah, Cooper Bye. I was just making sure that I said his name correctly. Cooper. Now Cooper Bye, my countryman, has me splitting my support this game. Now, Cooper Bye, is that Marcus's son or relative in some capacity? Do we all remember Marcus Bye as Nickera looking for number 2? 10 metres out in midfield here, the Sharks. Brayley heads across field. Who's he link up with? Trindle. Trindle dummies! Steps off the left boot, and Braden Trindle scores. It is the tricky Trindle show here. 2 try assists already for Trindle, and now he gets one of his own. Sharks are up 20 points to 0. Peter says, yep. Marcus Bye's young boy. Yes, E.B. Williams says it's his son. Thank you. Yeah. Boy, Marcus Bye was a beast, so I'm looking forward to seeing Cooper when he comes on. Aussie John, I remember Matthew Ridge. To you, Dan, of course. Kiwi legend, goal-kicking supremo. Matthew Ridge. Oh, Braden Trindle. What a start to the year it's been for him. 17 minutes to go until the halftime break. 2 try assists, a try of his own. Already over 60 or 70 kicking meters. Man of the match performance so far. But plenty of time to go, of course, for that to change. Hines from right in front. He just had one of the most difficult kicks from the sideline, and now he's got one of the easiest kicks ever from right in front, and the Sharkies are up 22 points to 0. Gamer Mel says, yes, go Sharks. You know what? Waste of Water Sports tipping contest on tipping.nrl.com. Tino Fa'asuamalawe is on report too, by the way, for a late shoulder on Braden Brayley. Yes, a late hit and nothing but shoulder. Tino's on report, and he'll be in a little bit of trouble for that one. Titans get us back underway. The kickoff's almost out on the full again. Fanua Blake spills it from the restart. Titans come away with it. Here's Sami. Beats one. Sami ducks into contact. 10 metres out. Titans. 15 in from touch. 10 out. Loose pass goes out the back to nobody. Ilias picks it up from a standing start and just has to reset. 0 tackle. Big mistake, that one from Fanua Blake. The Sharks have gone storming out to a big lead, and then they cough it up on hit number 1. Crash ball. Verrills goes to... Who's the big fella he had running with him there? I didn't quite catch the number. I apologise. Back into midfield. Brimson. Short ball to Fermor. Fermor almost goes through, and he spills the ball. But it'll be a penalty to the Titans. The Sharks offside. $10 meters out. 10 in from touch. They tap and go, of course, for Asuamalawe. Backs into the defence. Bringing it back into midfield. 2 meters out. Turned on his back. Slow play the ball. Good defence there from the Sharks. There's Verrills to Randall. Angling back in towards the play the ball area. 10 to the left of the uprights. Again, They shift back down the short side. But now, for Asua Malawi into midfield. Cronulla Blake's got him. And not really asking any questions again at the moment, the Titans. Ilias goes out the back for Brimson. Cut out pass is a nice one. And Sami is shown the sideline. Losing some ground now, the Titans. Tackle 4, 10 metres out. Brimson just sends it along to Haas. Haas looks to offload. Brayley gets in and wraps that ball up, though. 5th and last now. 10 out just to the left of post. Brimson to the line. Goes out the back now. Solid defense from the Sharks. Intercepted by Colquhoun. Or Burns it is, rather. Billy Burns has got support. The support there from Ero. Ero's up over halfway. And we've got time off in back play. What's going on here? Oh, Ero with a big hit on Keanu Kinney. Well, don't tell me that's a penalty. Kale Ero lined him up and absolutely wiped him out. That's gone on report. You're kidding me. Late contact. Kale Ero has literally folded Keanu Kinney in half as he tapped the ball on. That's surely not what they... Okay, I was going to say, thank the Lord above. It's an earlier tackle that they didn't show us on the replay. Britton Nicola is on report for late contact. I thought, surely not. It was perfectly timed, that Kale Ero hit. Titans go back on the attack now. 22 points to 0. The Sharks lead. Ilias, the inside ball changing direction. Now the Titans a metre out in front of the post. Verrills dummies. Tries to duck under, but the Sharks are wise to it. Still a metre short. Ilias over on the left. Puts the kick off the left boot, and it's out on the fall. Good Lord, it was only, tackle 3? And the Titans have put the kick out on the fall. They didn't even need to be kicking. Uso World, ahoy mate. Uso World says, imagine the NRL make you a commentator for them. Oh, they'd be in for a rough old time. 30 metres out from their own line now, the Sharks survive again, but again, the Titans not asking any questions. Colquhoun in midfield, put on his back, 35 out from their own line. 13 minutes to go until the halftime break. Cronulla Blake just shy of halfway. Slow play the ball. Trindle takes it to the halfway line, now kicks. Easy take at the back for the Titans. Kinney driven back in the tackle. But he does have it. 15 out from their own line now in midfield. 12 and a half left in this opening 40. 22-0. What a run here from the Titans. Again, I didn't quite catch the number. I apologize, but beat a couple of tackles. And Sami now carries to the 40. Quick play the ball. Scooped up by Kinney at dummy half. He goes outside for Ilias. And Ilias is tackled just inside the Sharks' half. 2 tackles left. Brimson now goes on a dart. Fifth and last. Last kick went out on the full. This time it stays safely in the field of play. And Kennedy will take it over on this right edge. 10 out from their own line, the Sharks. Trindle into play dummy half. He's got Sione Katoa there. The Sharks just starting to slow down a little bit. But, I mean, I think they can be happy with their work thus far. Kennedy, he's full of running. Puts a fend on Brimson and goes straight through. A try-saving tackle at the back by Chris Randall. Hines now gets a nice pass away to Kafusi. Kafusi taking a ground, but he gets up and goes again. 30 out from the line, the Sharks. Fifth and last. They're going to have a run. Trindle. Now he puts it high. Ramian chasing through to put pressure on. The Titans spill it. Ramian scoops it up. Trindle gets number 2. Braden Trindle gets a double. Another try assist and a try. I mean, does it work that way? He put the kick up and he scored the try. Does he get the try assist and the try? He's assisted himself to number 2. The tricky Trindle show. The Sharks 26, the Titans 0. My God. Any number of 3 Sharks could have scored that try. Where was the Titans' scrambling defense? Nowhere to be found. Well, let's wait and see if this one gets confirmed. We haven't had try confirmation just yet. $26-0 it is at the moment. I don't know that it's been awarded just... Well, it's been awarded. Don't know if it's been confirmed just yet. But what a half a footy this has been for the Sharks. I mean, I thought that they would win comfortably, but I could not have imagined this. Try's been confirmed. Nico Hines takes it 10 metres back. He's about 2 metres to the right of the posts. Yeah, over it goes. An easy 2-pointer. 9.5 to go until the break. And it is 28 points to 0. The Sharks, a dominant first half that has seen so many tries, yet only 1 tick off my multi. Where to now from the Titans? A long way back. I mean, 40 minutes flogging, all right, says Blah 2012. Still 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's not over yet. Toby Rudolph is on the field. Tackled short of the 20-metre line. Now Talakai, the Perth Bears bound. So for Talakai, by the way. Kafusi, as the fresh legs are out now for the Sharks. Talakai, Rudolph, Kafusi. Some of the big boppers are getting a well-earned rest. They've put in a solid first 40. Now a mistake. Talakai spills it. And the Titans will have an opportunity here with 9 minutes to go, roughly, until half-time. They get a little bit of a chance. UFC says Gold Coast looking set to have another fire year. Well, let's be honest. Nobody should really be surprised by that. Scrum down for the Titans. 8 minutes to go until the break. Verrills onto Simpkins in midfield. Slow play the ball again. The Titans, they just haven't asked any questions in attack. It's not like what we saw last night. In last night's games and Thursday night's game, where we saw one team clearly off the boil, only completing at 60%. The Titans have been completing. The Titans' completion rate's probably actually a little better than the Sharks at this point. So that hasn't been the issue in this one. It's just missed tackles. Fifth and last. Crossfield kick, putting pressure on. That's an escort against the Titans, surely. And yes, it is. Pretty clear as day escort right there. The most obvious escort outside of Tyneside Street. 10 metres out in midfield. Here's Simpkins. Can they strike before the halftime break? Shuffling the ball to the right. Ilias, well read by the Sharks defence. And have they forced the mistake? No, it's play the ball to nobody and the Sharks dive on it. They have forced the mistake. The Titans go from bad to worse to even worse. Playing the ball to nobody is one of the most unforgivable things you can do on a footy field. There's just no urgency here from the Titans. On attack, on defence. What is going on? Playing the ball to nobody, and the Sharks come away with it. The Noah Gaming, ahoy mate. Talakai stands on the halfway line, fifth and last, same old Titans, says James 685. Short side for Trindle, puts the kick high. This one's not contestable. Easy take of the back for Keanu Kinney. And Kinney returns it outside the 20. Five minutes 40 to go until the halftime break. Sharks. What a performance it's been. 40 more minutes to go. Well, 45 and a half more minutes to go. They've got to remember, they're not in the sheds just yet. There's Titans now. Shift out to the right and create some space, but they can't get the offload away over on that right edge. Fafita goes to ground with the ball just inside Sharks territory. Back into midfield for the fifth and last. 5 to go until the break. Short side for Ilias. Puts a high looping bomb up. This is a tester. And Stone Street does extremely well to collect it on his own 20. Lane William, ahoy mate, over on the TikTok. Slow to get back here. Some of the Sharks in behind the ball. Hines. Not afraid to shift it though. Ramian heads back into midfield. Gets a late offload back for Brayley. Brayley gives to Ero. And a penalty to the Titans because I'm assuming those Sharks players were ahead of the play the ball. Like I said, they were slow to get back and they've caught themselves out. Ilias taps and goes 20 metres out. 4 minutes left until the halftime break. They need some points to state the obvious to the Titans. They've had a lot of opportunity. Brimson to Kitty. They've got a 3-on-2 and Kitty goes to ground in the tackle of Ramian. That was their chance. 3-on-2. They had the extra man and now they've come up with a mistake. Oh, this is painful. I'm not even a Titans supporter and this is painful viewing. This is like they would get belted by schoolboys. A schoolboy team would annihilate this Titans outfit right now. Halftime cannot come quick enough. Chicken Drumsticks EZ7 says Titans getting exposed. Like I said, not even a Titans supporter by any stretch of the imagination. And they are getting exposed and exposed again as Katoa with a clean line break from the scrum. Sione Katoa up outside the 40 before he's brought to ground. The Sharks want more points before the break. Back into midfield for Trindle. On to Talakai. Talakai gives it to Kafusi. Scooped up by Brayley. Catches them napping up the middle. Then he's been taken high. Appealing for a penalty here, Braden Brayley. Halfway through this set. Hines to Rudolph. Tackle 4, 30 metres out. Bang in front. Take a drop goal, why not? Tricky Trindle drop goal. He's done everything else so far tonight. Burns now with a clean line break. Needs support. Battered down by the Titans. So 2.5 minutes to go until the halftime break and they'll get another full set of 6. The Titans have been cut to ribbons. And then some. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy, mate. Peace. Team Mr. Deeds wants to know if the Titans can still win. Look, you never say never when there's still 40 minutes. It could be a situation where it's a game of two halves. So when you've still got 40 minutes to go in a game, you never say never. But geez, I mean, they look really, really bad. Really bad. They look like wooden spooners. Trindle holds the pass up, goes out the back to Nico Hines. And Nico Hines scores the try. Trindle gets another try assist. That is his fourth of the night. The Sharks absolutely massacring the Titans here. 32-0, kick to come. It is the Braden Tricky Trindle show. Honestly, everything this man touches tonight is turning to pure gold. I've never seen such a performance from him. Team Mr. Deeds says, I was meant to go to the game. I'm sad, but I'm stuck in hospital with ammonia. That's no good, mate. Hope you, here's to good health. And hopefully you get better soon, my friend. James685 says, maybe Titans should play Queensland Cup. Maybe. I mean, we've got an uneven number of teams in the competition now with the Bears coming in, right? Only until PNG enter, but yeah, maybe Gold Coast should sit out until the Chiefs come into the competition to even the teams up again. Let them sit out and have a little bit of a think about life. Hines from just to the left of the post pops this one over for another two. And at the halftime break, 34 points to nil. Aussie John says, I would head for the exit if I were a Titan supporter. Actually, Aussie John, the old Panther's got a great story about leaving games early. So, old Panther, he went to a Panthers game in his younger days. And he tells me this story all the time about why he never leaves the game early anymore. Because he went all the way out to the game to see his Panthers played, and they were getting flogged. So he left early, and he came home, and his mum and dad are like, wasn't that a great game? And he's like, what are you talking about? They came back and won, of course. And that was back in the days before mobile phones and up-to-date updates. You couldn't be out away from home and get updates about the game unless you were there. So, yeah, he's left the game early thinking my team's getting flogged, enough of this. And he gets home to find out that they made an epic comeback. And, yeah, old Panther has said he never leaves games early because of that experience ever again. Even if such an epic comeback may never have happened again, he never leaves the game early. But anyways, I would leave early. If I were a Titans supporter, I'd be gone already. 34-0 at the halftime break. See, my philosophy, but then I'm a little bit of a hard ass, as we know. I'm one of the harshest supporters out there when it comes to my own teams. My theory is always, especially if they were playing this badly, if my team were playing this horribly, I'd be like, if they're not going to bother showing up, why should I? I'm going home. Pelt says if the Sharks win this one by 40 plus, they could sit at the top of the ladder. Yes, indeed. Well, 34 points. Yeah. So what is it at the moment? It'll be the Storm, obviously. It'll be the Storm first. It'll be the Panthers in second, with the two big wins of the round so far. Well, actually, this would, if it stays as it is, Sharks would go above the Panthers. Panthers are 26 points. Yeah, if it stays this margin, they'll go above. They'll go above Panthers into second spot. They need, 50. Not that it matters. It's only round one. I mean, who cares about sitting on top of the table after round one, really? Just on for and against. Cumbrian McKem, ahoy, mate. Titans are gash. Such a shame for a rugby league stronghold. Now, presumably, rugby league strongholds meaning Queensland in general. Team Mr. Deeds says, I'm sorry, Lachlan Ilias. Where's Jaden Campbell? We need you. Jaden Campbell's injured at the moment, isn't he? If I'm not mistaken. James says Storm played the best footy so far. Ooh. I know that the Panthers were far from perfect, but to come to the defending Premier's home ground and keep them to naught convincingly, I've got a feeling, even though the margin wasn't the same, I'm actually more me personally, I'm more impressed with the Panthers' performance this round than the Storm. Storm played really, really well. But, for the Panthers to come to Brisbane and do what they did to the reigning Premiers, even though, Broncos supporters already hate me enough anyway, so it doesn't matter if I say this. Even though the Broncos' premiership last season was far from convincing in of itself, so we shouldn't be too surprised if they fall off a cliff this season. Team Mr. Deeds says, do you reckon Tino is in trouble? Yes. Oh, he's in big trouble. Tino is in big trouble. Shoulder charge to Braden Brayley, who had already offloaded the ball, had his back to the play. A shoulder charge to a player not paying attention. Well, I shouldn't say not paying attention. What's the word that I'm thinking of? Yeah, I definitely shouldn't say not paying attention, because he was doing his job. He passed the ball. So he had his back turned. He had his back to the defensive line, thought he was out of play, and then suddenly you've got Tino's shoulder right in your lower back. It was a particularly nasty one. I mean, it's a couple of weeks with an early plea. It's not so much about not stopping himself, Team Mr. Deeds. It's not. What made it so bad was that it was an illegal tackle anyway. So even if you take out the lateness of it, he dropped his shoulder into him. He flew out of the line and charged in with his shoulder. So that's, even if you take the lateness away, because he is a big man and slowing yourself down as a big fella, difficult to do. It was an illegal hit, even if he had have got the timing right. And that is what I think will lead him into trouble. But you normally get a little bit of lean. Look, it wasn't high. It wasn't like shoulder charge to the face. It was a shoulder charge. Brayley wasn't completely turned. So it wasn't like a dog shot to the lower back or anything. He kind of copped him side on. I think maybe 2 weeks with an early plea. Hayden Croft, ahoy there, mate. Easy win. Certainly headed that way at the moment. All on the back of Braden Trindle. Now I want to have a look at some stats, because it is the tricky Trindle show at the moment. Braden Trindle has had a hand in pretty much every single try. A try assist for the first one, a try assist for the second one. He wasn't really involved in the third one here. That one passed him by. Try assist for the fourth one. So that's... well, actually, he scored the fourth one. So there you go. 2 try assists and 1 try now out of the Sharks' 4. And here he is with the ball again. Puts this one high and he scores his second. 2 try assists, 2 tries, 5 Sharks tries. And here's the try assist, his third one of the half. 3 try assists, 2 tries himself. It's been the Braden Trindle show. Honestly, he has had such a performance. Let's have a look at some team stats. Possession and completions. Like I said, it's been even Stevens. This has not been one of those games like we saw the Eels on Thursday night. Only completed at 60%. We saw Roosters only completing at 60%. We saw the Broncos only completing at 60%. This has not been one of those scenarios. The Titans are completing at 80%. The Sharks are completing at 80%. They've both had 50% of the ball. Even Stevens in terms of possession and completion rate. So this blowout scoreline can only come down to things like missed tackles and defensive reads and things like that. Let's have a look. Well, kicks as well, 40% kick defusal. So that's obviously made a huge difference. But missed tackles, there we go. 16 missed tackles by the Titans to the Sharks, 7. 7 ineffective tackles to 4. That tells the story right there. That's why the stats are so even, but there is such a deficiency in the score deficit. Such a deficiency in the scoreline, rather. Those missed tackles are letting the Sharks get into much better field position. And they can put better attacks on, better use of the footy in the right parts of the field. And, yeah, they just have no answer defensively with all those missed tackles. Richard Trainer says, Dan, since I've been watching your channel for 3 years now, I've made comments about how good Tricky can be when he is on. Absolutely. And we've been talking about, or I've been talking about for that exact amount of time, how Trindle should be the controlling half for the Sharks, and the Nico Hines experiment needs to end. And no coincidence, it seems to be what's happened today. Even though Trindle's wearing number 6, Hines is wearing number 7, Trindle's playing as the number 7. I can't help but notice that. Like, for the most of the plays, Trindle is in at first receiver, playing that number 7 role, even with the 6 on his back. So, and when he's having a game like this, if you're Nico Hines and you're a team player, you're more than happy to just sit back and go, yeah, mate, this is your day. Everything that you touch is turning to gold. Keep doing it. I'll just be over here watching. So, of course, tomorrow we've got the Australian Formula One Grand Prix, and in some of the most fantastic news I could ever hope to share, Max Verstappen crashed like the great big galoot that he is on his very first qualifying lap. Didn't even get a time in. So he'll be starting from the back of the grid. Oh, well, I mean, what? I could not ask for a better start to the year. The Broncos getting flogged, and Max Verstappen starting from the back of the grid. I was actually momentarily, I was a bit concerned. I was a little bit concerned about myself because I'm like, this can't be reality, right? This can't be real. James 685 says we could be looking at 60 plus by the end. Could very well be. Ways is better, 34-0, and it's not even full time. Oh yeah, unless they unless they come out of the sheds a completely different team here at the break, it's a long old day for the Titans. Sorry, Jamie. Some interesting new haircuts for season 2026. That's something that we like to have a chat about every now and then. Is the haircuts. Sofa Talakai, of course, used to have the big beard, kind of like myself. He shaved his beard off as the Sofa. Trindle, of course, has shaved his head. That's why I've got him mistaken for Kennedy a couple of times, because I'm so used to Will Kennedy being the only one with the shaved head for the Sharks. Aussie John says, who do you think will win the big race tomorrow, Dan? Are we talking about the Formula One? George Russell. I mean, this race, George Russell or Kimi Antonelli, should something happen to George Russell, because this race and this season is for Mercedes to lose. Everybody else is just playing catch-up. So, unless something truly bizarre happens, and both Mercedes have mechanical failures or something, it should be a Mercedes 1-2. George Russell first, Kimi Antonelli second, and maybe, just maybe, one of the Ferraris sneak into the podium. But we'll be covering all the action here on the Waste to World of Sports from 3 p.m. Well, we'll start about 2:30 probably. We might start around 2:30 Queensland time, our coverage of the Australian Formula One. What about Piastri? McLaren's just off the pace, I'm afraid. McLaren, I'm afraid, just off the pace to start the season. It's the Mercedes show in 2026. I mean, that's what we'll be talking about most weekends, being a Mercedes 1-2. And the championship fight basically being over well and truly by the halfway point. They are just that far ahead on these new regulations. Braden Trindle with a first half performance of all time, leading the Sharks to this 34-0 lead. Second half is underway, and it is the Sharks who will get first use of it. Kennedy takes the kickoff and gives it to Kafusi to rumble it up for the first hit. Can the Titans answer in any capacity? Back into midfield, Sione Katoa bends the line. They're still full of running here. Hines onto Eero. Eero puts the bumpers up on Brimson. Brimson comes back at him, though. Tackle 3. Brayley, dummies, takes the line on. Tackle 4 on halfway. Brayley having a great game as well, it should be noted. Rudolph, fifth and last, 40 metres out from the Titans line. Solid start here to the second half. Trindle down the short side, puts it high. They had so much success with this. Stone Street flying through to put pressure on. It's been lost forward by the Titans. It's another result from a bomb. A minute gone in the second half, and the Titans have coughed up another high ball. Second verse, exactly the same as the first. The Sharks want the scrum in midfield. 34-0, and I've got a feeling it's about to be a little bit more at the back end of this set of 6. Scrum down. Brayley sends it right for Hines. Hines beats the first tackle. And he's taken down 5 metres out just to the right of post. Talakai, a metre short, stands in the 2-man tackle. Tries to get a quick play the ball away, earns a 6 again. Trindle shows it inside, goes out for Hines. Quick hands for Katoa. Sione Katoa steps back in field, but the Titans slide across and shut him down. Hines onto Nikora. Nikora from a standing start. Heads back towards midfield. A settler. That's tackle 2. It was a set restart for the Sharks. Crash ball goes to Kafusi. He's taken down a metre short. Titans are a mile offside here on the left, but the Sharks go right. Oh, they're over again, are they? Trindle with another try assist. Jesse Ramian gets another. I had my eye on the left-hand edge because they were a mile offside there, the Titans. But the Sharks have gone right. Brayley goes out the back for Trindle. Trindle holds the pass up to Ramian, who's angling back in at 45 degrees, running a solid line. Bumps off a very weak attempt at tackle by Verrills. Reaches out and plants the ball down. Jesse Ramian bags another one. And the Sharks lead 38 points to 0. Somebody stop the fight. I mean, Jesse Ramian angles back in. There's Verrills. There's Simpkins. There's Kinney. There's Hannay. That's 4 Titans defenders. They've all stood back and let Verrills have a crack at Ramian without helping out until he missed the tackle. I mean, there's just a lack of urgency here in the Titans. A lack of effort, a lack of urgency. There is something horribly up with this team. Nico Hines, 5 to the right of the post, puts another one down the middle. The Sharks lead 40 points to 0. 4 minutes gone in the second half. And this is just atrocious for the Gold Coast Titans. $40 points to 0. Back underway. Kennedy takes the kickoff. And he's got Kafusi charging it up. Kafusi offloads back for Brayley. Brayley fires it across in front of the post for Stone Street. And Stone Street goes to ground 25 metres out. Slow play the ball again for the Sharks as they were turned on their back. Talakai with another strong carry. Just short of the 40. Iro dancing around in midfield. Stands in the 3-man tackle. Now he goes to ground on halfway. Hines takes the line on. Short ball to Rudolph. Rudolph's taken down, but it's a high shot. Penalty to the Sharks. Right out in front. 45 out. Have a shot at 2. Why not? They've done just about everything else so far this game. Let Trindle get a penalty goal. Stat padding. Trindle puts this one into touch over on the right edge. 10 out from the line. What a touch finder. Here they come again. Lockie Ilias is on report. Ramian taps and goes. He's looking for a treble. A metre short from the line. Here come the Sharkies again. Trindle, inside ball for Kafusi. Back into midfield as they set up their attack. Trindle's over on the right. They come left. Brayley to Kennedy. Short ball there for Burns. Burns trips over his own feet. And that's tackle 3, 5 metres out. Burns slow to get up. Feels like he's copped one high. Rudolph in midfield. A metre short now, right in front of the sticks. Brayley loses the ball out the back, and the Titans come away with it. Fermor runs it outside the 20. 6 minutes gone in the second half. What a let-off that was. But the Titans so bunched up here in attack. You could throw a blanket over them, as they say. As Hannay gets up to halfway. Simpkins through the hands. Right they go. Ilias shows it inside. Goes out for Kinney. Fafita onto Famani. The Sharks defense easily slides across and shuts that one down. Curtis Morin, 20 out in midfield. Put on his back for the fifth and last. Ilias puts the high ball up. Eero's backing up. Flying forward to take it is Stone Street. Up there, Gazali. And it's a penalty, though, to the Titans. The Sharks giving away another escort penalty. They're not doing this very well, the Sharks. They're blatantly changing line to get across and protect the kick chase, but I mean, you just can't do that. More pressure, if you would call it that, at this stage of the game. The Titans stay on the short side. Crash ball for Arama Howe, who's driven back. The Sharks defense easily reading this attack so far. Ilias in midfield. To Curtis Morin, losing ground now, the Titans. 6 again for a ruck infringement. Keanu Kinney brings it back into midfield. A settler right in front of the posts. Simpkins, did he lose the ball? No, he's held on. Just a metre out now, the Titans. Ilias to Brimson. Cut out pass. Hits the chest of Fainai there. 10 metres out. Morin. A metre short. Just not asking any questions here of the Sharks. Verrills finds some space from dummy half. Have they finally got there, the Titans? Sam Verrills from dummy half has finally cracked this Sharks defensive wall. Gets the Titans on the board. 9 minutes gone in the second half. So Sam Verrills, he's tried that one quite a few times tonight. Trying to dart over from dummy half, but for the most part, they've read it well. The Sharks are a little bit lax this time. Ford, Rawiri, ahoy mate. Nice to see you again. Always nice to see the familiar faces come back year after year, season after season. So the Titans finally on the board. Richard Trainer, you need Katoa and Brimson. Well, I still need plenty. Ilias from just to the left of the post puts this one over. And the Titans are up to 6. 10 gone in the second half, 40 points to 6, the Sharks. So there you go. Titans are on the board. So there. Does this mean, even though they've given up 40 points to the Sharks, does this mean the fact that they've scored 6 of their own, that they're technically doing better than the Broncos so far? I think so. I think so. Back underway. Titans. Bruce Simpkins. Just short of their own 20. We do, of course, have Manly versus the Raiders coming up next. The big talking point in that one will be Manly, life after DCE. And they've got Fogarty coming into the team. What a dream matchup it is to start round 1. Fogarty going up against his old club, a club that he led to minor premiership last season. It's a hell of a storyline as the Titans now up over halfway, 5th and last. Have they been sparked into some points? Ilias puts the high ball up on the 5th and last. Sharks again flirting with escort penalties. But they do come down with it through Will Kennedy. Philip Smith, I'm a Shark supporter. So it's been pretty painful for many, many years, but it's a good day today so far. Apart from my same game multi. It's not a good day for my same game multi. All these tries, and I've still only got one bloody tick. Kennedy, with his second hit up of this set, beats the first tackle, but he's heading sideways. Numbers out to the left for the Sharks. Kennedy wraps around. He's got a 2-on-1. Dummies. Goes on his own, Kennedy. And he's taken a ground 35 out from the Titans line. Brayley from dummy half catches them napping. The grubber kick can't beat the Titans defensive line. Popping up into the hands of Arama Howe. So it's all just getting a little bit chaotic here for the Sharks. I mean, that does happen. It would be so difficult, wouldn't it? It'd be so hard to stay, when you're this far ahead in a game, so hard to just stay focused and keep going through your motions. Cooper Byes on the field for the Titans. Oh, he's a big unit. Cooper Bye, that is a big, big fella. 5th and last now for the Titans. 30 out. Short side for Ilias. Puts it high. Contestable kick. Chasing through to put pressure on. It's taken by Bye. And 4 Sharks are there to meet him as soon as that ball comes to the deck. And that'll be a handover. Sharks ball. They stood back and waited for Cooper Bye to take that one, and then they swarmed him. ULA on the field as well. DeHons, ahoy mate. Oh, and he spills the ball with his first hit up. Does Braden Hamlin ULA. And the Titans now, 20 out, go back on the attack. The Sharks have just gone off the boil a little bit. You would think that at this stage it wouldn't really come back to haunt them, but boy, they'll be disappointed with that. Some of the handling. Curtis Morin goes close. Half a metre out here in front of the posts. Ilias heads across field. Goes out the back to Kinney. Tapped on nicely to Famani. And Famani dives for the corner and scores the try. Famani scores. The Titans go back to back. Whoops. 40 points to 10. And the kick to come. So the Sharks, they'll be, I mean, obviously they still have quite a comfortable lead, but they'll be a bit disappointed that they've fallen off here. They've just fallen away and got away from their systems and got away from what was working. Some mistakes are starting to creep in. And the Titans have gone back to back. A great finish there by Fayamani. And once more, all these tries, and I've only got one try scorer to speak of. Try on debut for Fayamani. Nice moment for him. Still plenty to play for in this one for the Titans, even though you would think that 30 points with 25 to go is a bridge way too far. There's still plenty to play for leading into the following. Well, that's a dead set shocker of a conversion attempt. It started out to the right by about 20 meters. It ended up out to the right by about 40 meters. 40 points to 10 it remains. So, yeah, 30 points is obviously a mountain and a half to climb. We're certainly not talking about any sort of comeback, but they've still got plenty to play for, the Titans. The Sharks, you would think, still have plenty to play for as well. They'll be disappointed with this last little 10-minute period. Just gone off the boil a little bit. Back underway. Titans from the restart. Big defense now from the Sharks. Have they had a little bit of a wake-up? A little wake-up, have they? The Titans a tackle, 5 out from their own line. Hits the try scorer, Faimani. Brings it outside the 10. Cooper by. Stands in the 3-man tackle. Gets a late offload away as he's being driven backwards. And a penalty to the Titans for high contact. $16 gone in the second half. And this last little 10-minute period has gone the Titans' way. Something to build on for them, perhaps. Finding touch on the 40. They tap and go. Up towards halfway. The Sharks' defense keeping them inside their own half. Back into midfield now and into Sharks territory. Standing in a 3-man tackle is Simpkins. Quick play the ball and front foot ball now for the Titans as they continue their march upfield. Looking for more consolation points. Verrills to By. By shuffles it on. 20 metres out now. Slow play the ball. They stay left. Brimson kicks back into midfield. It's been lost by the Sharks. Backwards, says the referee. And the Sharkies are in possession. Stone Street rocked back in the tackle. Offloads for Kennedy. Kennedy straightens. Another good run from Will Kennedy. He's been solid tonight as well. Trindle with a man of the match performance, but Kennedy has also been a standout. 3 points Trindle, 2 points Kennedy. Hero steps off the right boot, brings it out to the 30-metre line. Slow going here for the Sharks. Benoit Blake out to the 40, looking for the offload. Nobody running with him. 5th and last. Hines steps outside the 40, kicks long. Easy take of the back here for Keanu Kinney. Backing up, he takes it on the 10, winds up. Now heads back into midfield, takes on Kennedy, who's chased up quick, and Trindle. And they bring him to ground on the 20-metre line. 40 points to 10 with 21 minutes to go. The Titans, though, way too late, but starting to get into the game. We're starting to see a little bit of what they're capable of. Is up over halfway now, into Sharks territory again. For Asua Malawi, back on the field. Taking the ground. 35 metres out in midfield. 5th and last. Ilias down the short side. Puts it high. Contestable kick. Battered back by the Titans. Still 5th and last. Who's got it here? Arama Howe needs to offload it. Does he know it's still 5th and last? I don't think he does. That'll be the handover as Billy Burns wraps him up. Sharks back in possession. So, we were talking about a game of two halves. It almost has been in some way, hasn't it? The Sharks not getting anywhere near the ascendancy they got in the first half. Somstar says, are we tipping Manly to beat the Raiders? I know I sure am. I know that I certainly am. Brayley onto Hines. Hines shuffles it down the line to Hazelton. Hazelton just short of halfway. Halfway through the set. Benoit Blake steps off the left boot. Some fancy footwork there from the big fella. Takes it into Titans territory for Trindle now. 40 out. Puts it high. Puts it out on the fall. Just like we saw from the Titans in the first half. Good field position again now for the Titans. The Sharks, their disappointing second half continues. But they did so well in the first half. They're probably very, very safe. For Asuamalawe, loses it on tackle one. Nico Hines comes away with it. And Hines with a settler in midfield. That's not the kind of mistake you want from your captain. Or anybody, really, but especially your captain. Mistakes happen, but geez. Tackle one. ULA back into midfield. 30 out from the line. Trindle to Hazelton. Hazelton on the burst. 20 metres out now, right in front of the posts. Benoit Blake, get it first receiver to Hines. Short ball for Burns. Burns taking the ground. 10 from the line. Hines. Late pass out the back for Trindle. Double pump to Ramian, who bats on for Katoa. Katoa has to run back in field as he had to reach behind to try and claim that one. Bumps off the first tackle, but still heading across field. Big line up to the left here for the Sharks. Hines with the cutout pass for Ero. Ero flicks it back in field for Brayley. And that will be the handover. The Titans survive. "18 minutes to go. 40 points to 10. But, hey, the second half is Titans 10, Sharks 6, right? You got to look at the positives. That's what I tell people. Got to look at the positives. 17 minutes to play. 40 points to 10. Titans now up to the 40. Halfway through their set. Brimson onto Kinney. Kinney dummies. And it's well read at the back by Ramian. Ramian takes them to ground on halfway. Fifth and last. Ilias kicks down the middle. And under it at the back is Kennedy. Kennedy claims it on the 20. Links up with Stone Street, who spills it. Towed through by Arama Howe. And Kennedy gets back to save the day. But, geez, what a mistake from the Sharks. The errors are creeping in. The errors are creeping in big time. And unfortunately for the Sharks, it's taken what's been a really good performance, and it's turning it into a bit of an embarrassment. Some simple mistakes creeping in. Knocked on by Stone Street. Arama Howe toes it through. Kennedy's tracking back to try and clean it up. Howe's leading the chase. It's off his shin. And then Kennedy bats it backwards. It's play on at this point. It's a live ball at this point. It's play on. It's play on. He's gone straight over the top of it. And then towed through by KL Ero to save the day. So we'll come back for the knock-on. It'll be a knock-on against Stone Street. No try, but they will get the ball back. Edmund Kodunga, ahoy mate. I go for the Sharks, so obviously I would go for my own team in this one. 17 minutes to go in the match. Comfortably up by 30 points, but just disappointing last sort of 15 minutes. Scrum down on the 20-meter line here for the Titans. Okay. Sione Katoa has been great. Yeah. Titans now on the attack. BNA taken 10 meters out for Asua Malawi. 5 out from the line now. Another crash ball. The Red Knight, Tahoy mate, by the way. Ilias to Kinney. Kinney dummies inside once, goes this time to Fafita. And Fafita's taken a ground. 5 out from the line. Back into midfield for Ilias. Holds the pass up nicely there for Fodawaker. And Fodawaker, a meter out, right in front of the post. Ilias wants it on the left. Gets it. Keanu Kinney, they're up quickly on him. Brimson puts the grubber kick through. Kennedy, or Trindle rather, is back there in the end goal. He claims it, and that will be a goal line dropout. The Titans get a repeat set again. Yeah, look, I've got to say, the Titans have been the better of the two teams here in the second half. They have very little to show for it, though. His bye sends it on to Fa'asua Malawi. 20 meters out in midfield. Brimson to Ilias. Loose pass out the back is knocked on by Famani. Well, just as I give them raps and say that they've been the better of the two teams in the second half, they come up with that. Commentator's curse strikes right on cue. Just when it was looking like they might have something to build on. Dylan Bramsby, your multi done. Got $100. Oh, nice one, mate. Yeah. That's awesome. Manly Raiders coming up next. That should be a good game. This next one, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Golden Point. Golden Point in this next one. Would not shock me at all. Stone Street carries out to the 40. Benoit Blake up to halfway and beyond. 14 minutes to go. Sharks up 40 points to 10. Disappointing second half from them. ULA plays it. Fifth and last for Trindle to go high. They've had success here. Eero chasing through. Pressure on Kinney. Keanu Kinney takes it, and they tackle him back into the end goal. It will be a goal line dropout. Nice bomb. Perfectly placed. Good kick chase from the Sharks. Back to the basics that got them that big lead at halftime. That's what they need to do more of. Given their first half dominance, you would be disappointed. I'm telling you, as a Sharks fan, you'd be disappointed if they don't crack 50 after that start that they got off to. They've just completely gone off the boil here this second half. Titans go short with the restart. Too short. It doesn't find the 10. And that'll be a play the ball for the Sharks. 10 in from touch. 10 meters out from the line. I know that I'm a hard taskmaster on my own team, but I think that's a fair assessment that the start that they got off to, they should have expected to get 50. So if they don't, I'm not saying that the day will be a failure by any stretch of the imagination, as ULA fights his way to the line, turned on his back and is held up. It was a good charge, though. He'll take it back to the 10. Rayleigh goes right for Fanua Blake. Fanua Blake on the crash ball. Stands 5 meters out. Brayley goes left for Trindle. Inside ball for Burns. Billy Burns takes them on. And he goes to ground a couple of meters out, just to the left of the post. Brayley onto Colquhoun. Colquhoun stands in the two-man tackle. Now a third man comes in and he goes to ground. Right in front of the post here, fifth and last. Out the back for Trindle. Trindle, short ball. Goes to Nickera. Nickera with the flick pass out the back for Trindle. Trindle gets the kick away. And the Titans have it on their own goal line. Disappointing second half here from the Sharks continues. Clueless inside the Titans' 10-meter line there. Sami hits a brick wall of Sharks defenders. It's tough going here for the Titans this set. Cooper Bye looking to give them some go forward. Gets 10 meters. Good run. Ilias on the fifth and last. Has a run. Takes it up to halfway. Cut out pass to Fafita. Fafita's wrapped up around the ankles. Offloads back in field, but the Titans are taken over the sideline. The Sharks' defense too strong. Lockie Ilias thought he spotted an opportunity. Ten minutes left to play. 30 points the difference. Sharks, despite a disappointing second half, have been far too strong. Stone Street put on his back in midfield. Here's Colquhoun, takes the line on. Goes to ground, 35 out. Brayley to Hines. Hines links up with ULA. ULA to the 20. That's tackle 4. Cronulla Blake in midfield. Goes out the back for Hines. Hines puts the kick through for Nickera to chase. Nickera puts pressure on Keanu Kitty. And they've tackled him in goal again. Goal line restart incoming. 10 left to play. Sharks controlling field position now. Can they come away with some more points? You'd have to think more points are on the way if they just keep doing the basics right. Titans go short with the restart. Taken by Sione Katoa. Beats one. Steps inside another. Sione Katoa from the restart. From the goal line dropout. Steps his way through and scores a very easy try. Sione Katoa. Well, this was poor once again from the Titans. Katoa takes the restart, stands up one of the Titans defenders, steps Beau Fermor with ease, beats the tackle one-on-one of Keanu Kitty, 44 points to 10. And that was just horrible from the Titans defensively. There's no urgency here. The Titans have owned this second half. They still got belted, but they had something that they were working towards to build on for next week, and they've just thrown it all away in that play right there. Heart Ticker, ahoy there, mate. Heart Ticker says we have seen big scores in round one. Yes, indeed, we have. I feel like we might see a golden point in this next game coming up, though. I've predicted that one nice and early. KMML says, finally, my first tick. I've only got the first tick was, second try. And then it's been miserable from then on in. Hines from out wide, 10 in from touch. Hooking it back, hooking it back, hooking it back. It hits the post. And bounces back into the field of play for a miss. 44 points to 10. Sione Katoa with the try. He's had a solid game. He deserves that. He's had a really solid game statistically. And he very much deserved a try here at the end. Titans get us back underway, sending the kickoff deep. It's taken on the 10 by Kennedy. Kennedy links up with ULA. God, ULA. You know, here's what's confused me, all right? I'm so used to it being Braden Hamlin ULA. For whatever reason, he's come into this season and he's dropped the first hyphen. I'm so used to all these years Braden Hamlin ULA, and he's just Braden ULA this season for whatever reason. And I'm trying my best to not get tongue-tied by it, but for some reason, I always go to say Hamlin ULA. Remember, try to correct myself on the fly and just say ULA and end up with one of the easiest names in the competition, tongue-tied. Penalty here for the Sharks anyway for high contact. 40 out from their own line. Trindle will find touch. 40 out from the Titans line. From 40 to 40. Here they go again, the Sharks. Looking for 50. Looking to end the Titans' premiership hopes. 30 out from the line. Back into midfield for Fonua Blake. Backs into the defense and takes some post-contact meters. 20 out from the line in midfield. Brayley brings it left for Kennedy. Inside ball for Burns. Burns. One-on-one there with Keanu. Kitty steals 10 meters. Trindle hands it off to Fonua Blake. Fonua Blake, a meter out from the line in midfield. Halfway through the set now, the Sharks. Trindle on the left. Short ball for Ero. Ero goes to ground. Almost gets through the tackle of Ilias. That's the fifth and last. Brayley goes to Trindle in front of the post. Kicks over the top. Contestable ball. And the Titans come down with it a meter out from their own line. 6 minutes left to play. Titans back in possession. Richard Trainer, you're on fire. Drop and roll, mate. Drop and roll. 44 points to 10. 5.5 left to play. Gamer Mel says, who's my tip for the next game? I've got Manly winning. A close one. Cooper Bye beats the first tackle. Stands in the two men coming across to cover defend. Back to Brimson now on the fifth and last. Kicks from halfway. Katoa backs up, takes it inside the 20. Heads across into midfield. Dummies! And nobody's falling for that one. As Talakai gets ready to come back on for another spell. The Sharks inside their own 20. 5 minutes left to play. 44 points to 10. Yeah, so I've got the Manly Sea Eagles winning the next game. Not as convincing as this, though. Put it that way. Not as convincing as this one, for sure. Talakai, freshly back on the field. Big leg drive up towards halfway. And we've got time off now. He's walked off the mark. He has to go back a couple of meters. Trindle kicks early on play 4, looking for a 40-20. I mean, that would just cap off his stats for the night. He finds touch half a meter out from the goal line. Braden Trindle, everything that he touches tonight has turned to pure gold, and now he's got himself a 40-20. Oh, that is incredible. 4 minutes left to play. Here come the Sharks looking for 50. Brayley taps, gives it to Colquhoun. Colquhoun held up. Oh, Tino. Jeez, he's got to be careful. Tino, third man in, attacking the lower back. Hines to Fonua Blake. Fonua Blake, 2 meters out, standing in a 3-man tackle. Now they put him on his back. 3.5 to go. That's tackle 2. Brayley goes right for Hines. Hines dummy, spins in contact, beats the tackle, reaches out and plants it down. Nicholas Hines with another try. 48 points to 10, kick to come. Robert Toa says half century is on And it's well and truly now on the boot, literally, of Nico Hines. As my embarrassing same-game multi for this game continues to look miserable there. Nico Hines holds the pass up, spins some weak defense again from the Titans. AJ Brimson, abysmal. Fermor, terrible, getting fended off by a halfback. And Hines gets a second for tonight. $48 points to 10. The kick to make it 50 and end the Titans' premiership hopes in round one, along with Parramatta's. Three minutes left. So they'll still have another opportunity, even if he misses this. But I did say after that first half, they needed 50 for me to give it a pass mark. Hines, 10 in from touch. Hit the post with the last one. This time he puts it right down the middle. And the Sharks crack 50. 50 points to 10. A demolition job here on the Gold Coast Titans. As a Sharks supporter, I knew that it was going to be a comfortable win. I didn't think it would be this comfy, though. And I have tipped the Titans to win the Spoon this season, but I didn't think they'd be this bad. Kennedy takes the kickoff, 2.5 to play. We've got Manly versus Raiders coming up next. Jamal Fogarty going up against his former club. That is the story of the night, that one. Jamal Fogarty, who led the Raiders to the minor premiership last year. What can he do now going up against them? And more importantly, what can the Raiders do without him? Because he was such an important piece of that minor premiership push. Cronulla Blake now up to halfway. Can they eke out some more points here, the Sharks? Colquhoun onto Hines, dummies, takes the line on, goes to ground 40 metres out over on that right edge of the field. Back to Trindle, who puts it high. They've had success here. Kenny scrambling back, takes it well, 5 metres out from his own line. Kenny gets up and goes again. Offloads to Famani. Famani shown the sideline. And he goes to ground, 10 out from his own line, 10 in from touch. Titans with 1 minute to try and get some more consolation points. Yeah, catch you later, Gamer Mel. Thanks for joining us. Bangin' X8V. I reckon Eagles 13 plus. Nothing, you know what? Nothing would surprise me this round in terms of margins. Nothing at all would surprise me. Ilias to the line, out the back for Kinney. Cut out pass for Famani. Famani gets space now, up over halfway. 40 out from the Sharks line on play 5. Into midfield for Ilias. He's going to run here on the 5th and last. He's got Howe. Howe back inside for Ilias. Chips over the top of Kennedy. But Sione Katoa from all the way over the other side of the field gets across and takes it on the full. And that should take us to full time here with this set. 16 seconds left to play. And the Sharks have done it 50 points to 10. What an incredible performance in the end. They had a little bit of a flat period in the second half. But the Sharks have done it 50 points to 10. The Titans' premiership hopes come to an end in round 1. The Sharks will be very happy with that. Good start to the season for them. All right, Wastewater Sports. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. I'm going to race off and get ready for the next game. It's going to be a cracker, I reckon. Golden Point is incoming. That's my prediction. Golden Point. Very little separates these two teams coming up next. And Jamal Fogarty could be the difference maker. He's not with the Raiders anymore. He's with Manly. Therefore, I've gone Manly in a close one. We'll be back live in just a few minutes. Hope you can come along and join us. I'll catch you then. Cheers. Be right back.